Today I'm picking a subject to talk about it. I'm gonna talk about a random subject of my list because I have lists of things that I want to talk about, but I've refrained from sharing certain things, so all of these things have accumulated over time, and now I feel like my head is about to explode with so many ideas overflowing, and I need to get them out. So I made a list of the ideas that I want and each of them will need to be developed. So it really is a lot. Okay. But anyways, and these lists are not exhaustive. So it's only 2 pages of. I don't want to show the list because I don't want to show what's on there. That's on these pages. But anyways, let's pick one. Um, Artists or objects. Okay, let's pick this one. So the other day I posted something about artists being not on YouTube, on some other platform, about how artists are objects. You know, they are tools we use, and they when we talk about objectifying people, maybe even animals. I don't know. Um, and we make them into something that we can use. They serve their purpose, and that's it. Then we trash them. But even when we trash them, we don't completely detach from them. It's like, for example, while they're alive, artists will be used, you know, they have to keep on producing, we keep on consuming. They show things, and then I think instead of speaking like that with no order, I'm going to read what I wrote in that particular post, and we're gonna go from there. I'm gonna make it very, very. I'm gonna try to make this video simple. Okay, so I have here artists are objects. They give, we take, we analyze, we love, we hate, we praise, we discredit, we break, we rate. They show, we mirror, we become, we condemn, we despise, we ignore, we accept, and we scream. They suffer, we absorb, we watch, we bully, we misunderstand, we suspect, we cast away, we ease, and we forget. They speak, we dance to their music, we buy their art, we read their poems that comfort us, but their voices are lost in echoes. They disappear, we recall, and we pay tribute. Never do we fully encounter them. We demand they keep on giving, even when there's nothing else to give, and even when they can't or no longer want to give. So, this is it. Or these are objects. I remember back in the days, like maybe 10 years ago, there was this, maybe even earlier than that, like 13 years ago, there was this campaign, I'd say that one of my artist friends had, where she was talking about let's appreciate artists while they're alive and not when they're dead. Let's give credit and stuff like that. beyond the idea of, let's say, paying them well or giving them credit and everything, it's more the idea that while they are here, let's, I mean, at least to me, right? Let's appreciate the fact that they're human. What's behind the art? Who's that person? When they speak, do we listen? Do we try to understand? Um, are we are we what do we do with all of these words that are said? Sometimes they help us, but we don't necessarily care about the person that's living the same experience. Um, so it's like, for example, there is K-pop. K-pop has gotten very, very popular to the point that I'm surprised, right? It got to the countries in the Caribbean, and when something gets there, it's because it really gets popular. And I say this because, for example, Haiti, is not very developed, etc., etc., and the culture, for example, in the Dominican Republic, is not similar to Asian countries. So for it to get there and to be well accepted and cherished and everything, that means it really traveled for. But anyways, what I want to say is that for K-pop, these artists would go through the worst things. And yeah, it was so bad that they would um, get many, psychological, they would suffer psychological consequences um, due to the harsh training they have to follow, all the hypocrisy in the environment, and everything that they have to go through. They have to change their bodies, change their they have to change their bodies. They have to um for example, they have to go through certain, they have to respect certain restrictions just to maintain the image. I remember, for example, back in the days, keep up, I don't know how it is now. I've completely cut ties with this world completely, yeah, a long time ago. So back in the days, they couldn't date people, right? They couldn't date people just because they had to maintain a certain image, um because fans would otherwise be mad, or some would stop following them, stop buying, if they find out that if they found out that this particular artist had a partner, or something like that, like some weird ass stuff. And I'm like, they are not humans to us. They are not people to us. We consume every little bit of them until they perish. And I think this is one of the things that really made me question this whole thing. I'm like, yo, these people are out there um unaliving themselves. I'm sorry, I laughed. I'm just trying to figure out if that was a right thing to say, because I know that on YouTube there are certain things you can say, and I'm not used to that yet. I know there are many words that are banned. So yeah, anyways. Yeah, so I know we are not necessarily imposing these things on them, but the consumption is actually our complicity. We're not directly linked to these people. We're not directly like imposing this inflicting them this pain or these measures, but by complying or by using their art, by not saying anything about it, we kind of are complicit. So, yeah, artists or objects. Yeah, I don't know how you guys perceive it. If you have anything to say about that, I might touch on this subject again. I'm gonna think it through, maybe write more, and if I have any other ideas to add, I'll do so. But um, even in our part of the world, in the States, artists from anywhere in the world, they really lose this I think this value as persons. I mean, it's not like they intrinsically um I know the word in español, intrínsecamente. It's not like they lose their intrinsic value. I think that's a term, but we as society stop giving them that value, right? So this is it. Also, there's a very good song that reflects how artists are objects. It's a Spanish song. It's actually a song. The name is El Cantante. And in this song, the author talks about he's talks about how he gets praised, in front of stages and everything, and the moment is euphoric. Um, you get a lot of people like that are so over you that you can't even breathe, and then after that you go home and you become you go back to that version of yourself that is just um, insignificant to people. Everybody disappears, the screams shut down, you know, they became silent, um, and you go back to being alone, back to being someone that nobody cares about. Nobody wants to know what your struggles are. Maybe paparazzis, but that's also an object because they don't care, as in they don't share your pain. They just want to publish it, you know. Either way, you're bringing money, you're bringing fame, you're bringing favors, privileges, and stuff like that. So people just use you for that. I also mentioned something on my post, and it's that artists are channel for aggression, for repressed aggression. So oftentimes we look at artists and we just want to hate on them or criticize them and say the harshest things, um, because I don't know, we that's what we want to do, because we can't do that in our personal lives. It's better to do that to someone that's far away, that's untouchable, so there are no repercussions for you showing that aggression, right? Anyways, I want to end the video there. It's already for 14 minutes. Thank you for listening. If you're there, do consider uh, checking out my other videos. Yeah, because why not? Why not? Bye.